Are you struggling with sleep? That is really one of the most common symptoms I hear from women. So if you're dealing with sleep issues and cortisol swings and hormone swings and all the things that can impact sleep, then when you don't have it, it really feels like the missing piece. So today I'm going to give you a complete science-backed practical guide to getting better sleep. You'll learn how sleep works, what to do every day to help support your sleep, what to avoid, and a few advanced tips that will actually help you move that needle on your sleep. So who am I? I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. I'm a board-certified family and functional medicine doctor and registered dietitian. In my functional medicine practice, I work with both women and men, but I often hear from women that they need help balancing their hormones, and sleep is one key factor to help improving their health and longevity. It can help with your hormone balance, but also help you live longer if you get good sleep. So let's get you sleeping better starting tonight. Let's dive into how sleep works. Think of sleep as an active recovery for your brain and your body. You cycle through stages of sleep: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Deep sleep is where we have physical repair, we have growth hormone release, and even immune support. REM is where we have our memory consolidation, we have emotional processing, and it's where creativity really takes center stage. So REM is important for all of those things. We need them both, and even light sleep too. Your body has a circadian rhythm. It's a 24-hour clock, and it's guided by light. Our circadian rhythm can be impacted by hormones, environment, age. Lots of things can impact our circadian rhythm and our cortisol levels too. So trouble comes when our signals get mixed for as far as our circadian rhythm goes. Late night screens, irregular bedtimes, bright light at night, or caffeine too late can confuse that clock, that circadian rhythm clock. So as can aging and hormone changes like perimenopause and menopause. So why does sleep matter for our hormones and our longevity? Poor sleep drives up cortisol and blood sugar. It increases our cravings. It lowers our insulin sensitivity. It screws up our sex hormones. Does a lot of things to our bodies that we don't want or need during perimenopause and menopause, or really ever. So the disruption in the hormones, they play a role in temperature, mood, and menstrual cycle. So disrupting them causes more issues. Over time, that disruption, basically the poor sleep disruption, can affect our weight, our cardiovascular health, our brain health, and how we feel from day to day. Consistent restorative sleep is one of the most powerful levers you can pull to recalibrate your mind and help your hormones stay balanced and help your hormones communicate. So your essential sleep routine. If you remember only one thing from this video, remember that consistency is key when it comes to sleep. Our bodies, our circadian rhythm, and our hormones love consistency. Waking up at the same time is important if you can every day, even on the weekends, or at least on the weekends, try to be within an hour or so of your wake up time during the week. Your wake time anchors that circadian rhythm that I talked about, and predictability and a regular pattern. The consistency helps build sleep pressure so your body knows when to feel sleepy later. Your body also likes consistency with bedtimes. So create a simple wind down routine or ritual that starts about 60 to 90 minutes if you can, 30 minutes if you don't have a lot of time before bed, and try to make that bedtime routine. And some ideas for this routine, and make the bedtime consistent too. You can dim the lights, you can silence your non-essential notifications, shut down any stimulating screens or switch them to the nighttime mode, and choose a calming activity. You could do a warm shower, hot bath, stretch a little bit, do some gentle yoga, breath work. You can even, if you're somebody that worries about tasks and all that, you can write down your to-do list in a notebook or in your planner just to get it out of your brain and onto a page. That can help your sleep too. And you want to optimize your sleep environment. So a cool environment is the best. Aim for a bedroom temperature around the upper 60s Fahrenheit or even up to 70 degrees Fahrenheit, and make the bedroom dark. Blackout shades are helpful. A comfortable eye mask, if you feel comfortable wearing one, is helpful. And then quiet. You want quiet in your bedroom. So if you need a white noise machine, use one. If you need earplugs, use one. I have a snore next to me every night, so I have to use both. So drown out that noise somehow. And think of lightweight, comfortable cotton pajamas, especially if you're in perimenopause or menopause and dealing with night sweats. Consider that moisture-wicking sleepwear and a cool gel pillow, or even like a cooling mattress or a temperature-controlled mattress. That can really help. Keep pets out of the bed if they wake you. I love dogs too, but your sleep matters more than your dog having a comfortable bed. They can sleep on a comfortable bed on the floor. And dogs and cats don't need sleep the same way that we do, and they're going to wake up a lot, so they may wake you up a lot. So try to control that if you can. Well, and what to avoid if you want to sleep easier also includes caffeine. It has a long half-life, so stopping at 5 to 6 hours before sleep is important, especially for slow metabolizers. The afternoon latte you might have, or a sugary latte especially, or sugary drink, can disrupt your sleep, as can like a double shot espresso even in the morning. So be careful with your caffeine and try to curb it around 12 to 2 p.m. Now, if you're somebody that's really sensitive, you may need to change to half calf in the morning or choose green tea. Coffee has about 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine, maybe more, whereas green tea has about 40 to 80 and black tea is in between. So really think about that when your sleep is disrupted. Alcohol is another factor. Alcohol is a sedative, but it does fragment your sleep. It suppresses your REM sleep and increases how much you wake up, and that happens a lot in perimenopause and menopause anyway. And it worsens snoring and sleep apnea. It also disrupts our hormone balance and can impair cortisol. It can make hot flashes worse and night sweats worse. So if you're already having those, alcohol is going to make it worse usually. If you drink, keep it moderate and earlier in the evening and only occasionally. Now, what about when to eat and how much to eat? Large late night meals are going to push your body into digestion mode rather than that resting and restorative mode. So aim to finish dinner about 2 to 3 hours before bed and try not to have a bedtime snack. If you do have a bedtime snack, keep it light and more protein forward rather than carb forward. Also be careful with sedatives like marijuana. I live in Colorado, so it's legal here, and there are a lot of states where it is. So it might not apply to you, but if you do use it or any other sleep aid, that can really disrupt the architecture of your sleep, not letting you have those stages I talked about, and it can backfire over time, either the marijuana or any other sleep aid. For example, newer research shows that drugs like Ambien or like clonazepam or Xanax, or even over-the-counter meds like Benadryl, can disrupt your sleep cycles and lead to less deep sleep and REM sleep. And when you have less of those complete stages that you need, that increases your risk for dementia over time. So talk to your clinician, your provider, healthcare provider, if you're using a sleep medication regularly, so that you have a plan to try to get off of it and minimize your use of it. And finally, I can't say too much about those bright screens. Curb them. Curb the overhead lighting, fluorescent kind of lighting. Blue enriched light from any kind of screen tells your brain it's noon. Dim the house, use lamps instead of bright ceiling lights. And if you must use screen, then like I said, switch them to the night settings or the blue light blockers. You could also consider getting amber tinted glasses. I've talked about those a lot on my YouTube channel, and wearing them after sunset can really convince your body it's bedtime and get you back into a better circadian rhythm. So all of those things can help relieve that or help sleep. And exercise, let's talk about exercise. Consistent, moderate movement for exercise is preferred, and that can help you sleep. Gentle cardio balanced with regular strength training can be very helpful. Exercises like yoga and walking are excellent options for getting your body more sleepy and ready for sleep. And if you need simple, structured options, Welltech apps are there for you. I personally for my patients and for myself, I like the WalkFit app. I use it every single day, and I like the Yoga Go app for yoga. With WalkFit, you can start exactly where you are, and yoga, any of them. You can start as inexperienced. You can do indoor, outdoor walks with WalkFit and let the app progress you gently. And then with the Yoga Go, you get short, approachable, doable yoga even for beginners, and stretching sessions for real bodies. You don't have to be a yogi or advanced. There are a lot of great options for beginners. So definitely you can check out some of those. I'm going to talk about another helpful app from Welltech in just a few minutes. Both yoga and walking help support sleep by reducing stress and decreasing your tension during the day and helping you power down at night. So let's jump into a few more details on exercise and light exposure, speaking of that. So time your workouts wisely. Morning or early afternoon is ideal for many people, so you get that natural light flooding in that helps reset your circadian rhythm and balance it, and it helps boost our melatonin. We need melatonin, and that does go down as we age. And it increases our energy for the day if we have that morning light. If you only have evenings available, then keep your exercise lighter and finish at least 2 to 3 hours before bedtime. You don't want that high intensity in the evening or late training because it can raise your core temperature and your adrenaline, and that makes it harder to fall asleep. So let's touch again on light exposure. The other benefits. Light exposure helps set the clock. Like I was saying, if you get outside early in the morning, even if you can't exercise outside, get outside for 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes of natural light in some way, can help you really reset the circadian rhythm. If it's wintertime or you can't do that, then at least open the blinds, step out on the porch, have your coffee or tea in the mornings outside or by a bright window and try to get that sunlight. So let's talk nutrition and hydration. You need to anchor those daytime meals with protein to stabilize your blood sugar. I recommend aiming for about 25 to 35 grams of protein per meal. It all depends on your size, how active you are. If you're training, you may need a little more. And if you have health problems, talk to your doctor about that. And you want fiber-rich plants to help you metabolize your hormones better. So that'll help you sleep too. Also, try not to eat too many or drink too much later at night, but you do want at least half your body weight in ounces of water during the day. And supplements can be helpful. You don't always need them, but supplements like magnesium glycinate or magnesium threonate, usually in the range of anywhere between 100 and 400 milligrams, taken 60 to 90 minutes before bed, can be helpful, but always talk to your doctor about it. If you have loose stools from the magnesium, then cut it back. L-theanine or glycine can also be super calming for people. They're generally safe, but again, talk to your provider before starting anything. And I like herbal teas like chamomile blends or chamomile or lemon balm. That can be a great part of a wind down routine. Let's do some deep dives on myths and questions. So you can't catch up on the weekend necessarily. You can't fully undo chronic short sleep. You need to try to be consistent and get some good sleep. You need to protect your sleeping window most nights and keep your wake time consistent. You also want to not rely on caffeine, to keep you up, because that impairs everything else. Does alcohol make you sleep? I already answered that. It can help you fall asleep, but it definitely fragments your sleep and reduces your REM time. And if you think you're sleeping better with a nightcap, think again. Track your sleep quality for a week when you are without it. Compare their energy and mood to when you have had alcohol. I also get a lot of questions about melatonin. So you can use melatonin. Low dose is better and usually better for short term, like for jet lag. But for women over 50 or even women in their mid to late 40s, your melatonin levels do drop. So you may need some melatonin, but not necessarily a 10 milligram pill. I usually say start low and go slow with like a liquid of melatonin. And if you're having trouble falling asleep, that's maybe where melatonin can come in, but talk to your doctor about that. You can also test your melatonin levels with tests like the Dutch test. If you have trouble falling asleep and you're still awake after 20 minutes, don't lie there just being frustrated. Don't start scrolling on your phone. Get out of bed. Keep the lights low. Do something calming, boring, stretch, read a real book that's kind of boring and not too exciting. Do some deep breathings, maybe a recorded meditation, maybe listen to a sleep story. Do something to help you get back sleepy again, but that doesn't stimulate your brain, and something that's not associated with worry. So don't watch like a stressful TV show or turn that TV on. I love sleep stories, like I said before, but there's a lot of things that can help work. And normalize those nighttime awakenings. If you wake and your mind is racing, keep a notepad by the bed. Keep your planner by the bed. Write the thought down. Write the list down. Write the worry down. And handle it tomorrow. Leave it on the paper. If you've stacked a lot of stimulants like caffeine, intense evening workouts like I was talking about, or constant screen time in the evening, peel back one at a time. Try to build consistency. So with your sleep and with your exercise. So with exercises, if you're rebuilding your routine, just pick the smallest possible daily win. Like if you're using some of the Welltech apps, you could do a 10 or 15 minute walk after breakfast with the WalkFit app. You could do at night a 12-minute yoga go stretch as part of your wind down or yoga routine. You can do one change at a time and stick with it and do habit stacking to help your sleep. Another tip is to start doing some muscle building. So Welltech has an app called Muscle Booster that can help you preserve that muscle in midlife because it does go down, and that can help your sleep also and help your glucose metabolism, your blood sugar and all that. And that really helps your sleep. So schedule strength training earlier in the day if possible. And maybe like do the Yoga Go app at night or cool down as part of your cool down routine. So quick recap, build a simple wind down ritual, keep the room cool, dark, and quiet, cut your caffeine by early afternoon if you can, or even cut it in the morning, limit your alcohol and avoid late heavy meals, get that morning sunlight, move your body most days, use targeted protein fiber-rich meals and targeted supplements if needed to help your sleep. So if this was helpful, subscribe to our channel. We'd love to get you on board, and we have lots of other videos on health. And we have practical guides. Check out the Welltech blog for additional articles and routines you can start using now to help you sleep better and get in better health at this stage of your life. If you want more content like this, you can also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Shelley Meyer. And I cover women's health, hormones, functional medicine. I've got a lot of gut health videos on there too. So I'm Dr. Shelley Meyer. Thanks so much for watching and being here. And I'm wishing you all a good night's sleep tonight and every night from here on forward.